Welcome back to In Her Rubber Boots. My name is Katrina. I'm so glad you're here today. Today I'm going to be continuing my series on frugal living. I myself am definitely a frugal shopper. I try to save money whenever I can. And I just wanted to share with you some of the tips and things that I do to save money on a daily basis, just as a lifestyle. So if that sounds good, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. So how many of you eat out? How many of you eat out on a regular basis, maybe more often than you care to admit? I'm talking not just like, going out for a formal meal, but also takeout, or when you're at work or you're out and about and you're just grabbing a quick bite to eat from a drive-thru. All of those things really add up in price. Don't get me wrong, I like takeout, I like going out for food, but I definitely want to keep it a treat and not make it just a bad habit. So here are some of the ways that I avoid eating out. I use a to-go mug. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I bring tea, but whatever you drink, have yourself a really good to-go mug, one that keeps your, liquid of choice hot, and make your coffee or tea at home. Now maybe you're saying, okay, I can do that, but when I'm in a hurry, I also like to grab something to eat. My solution to that is either bake or buy a pack of donuts or muffins, something that freezes well, put them in separate little containers or baggies, have them in the freezer, and when you take that to-go mug of coffee or tea, grab that out of the freezer, and then you've got your, treat as well as your hot drink. I like to challenge you to bring along snacks and drinks when you are doing things later in the day too, not just in the morning. So if you're going out and you're running errands and it's around lunchtime, throw a granola bar and a water bottle in your purse so that you're not tempted to stop and grab something to eat. What I like to do is have a basket that's designated just as easy snacks. So it might have granola bars, packages of cookies, maybe chips, applesauce, things that I can grab easily and take along with me. And so I keep those separate. I try to make sure there's always something in there, and if I'm in a hurry, I'll throw it into my bag or bring it along for my lunch at work or whatever, and I just know that it's a go-to. While we're on that subject, if you work, don't forget to pack a lunch. Now I know that's intimidating and a lot of us say, oh, I'm just not very good at that. But maybe you're just trying to make too complicated of it a lunch. Just bring leftovers from the night before, or buy some, pizza pockets or easy things to have in the freezer for when you're really running late and you just need something really fast to grab. Yes, it's not the healthiest, but if it stops you from eating out, it's probably not worse for you, and it's definitely saving you money. Now, in regards to dinner, so you're, coming home from work or whatever, and you know that you don't have time to cook, and so you just stop and buy something. I challenge you, instead of doing that, try to have some really easy meals in your freezer. So whether it's a frozen pizza, or maybe it's an actual freezer meal that you've made and you can defrost quickly, try to just have some easy things that you can just throw in the oven and have dinner on the table in only a few minutes, rather than having to get takeout. For a lot of us, groceries, or food in general, is where a lot of our wages go. And so I think knowing how to be a frugal shopper when you grocery shop is definitely a huge way to save money. My number one tip would be don't shop on an empty stomach. I think it's obvious, but seriously, every time I shop on an empty stomach, I buy so much more, and I buy so many more things that are bad for me, just like impulse buys, instead of sticking with the list that I came with. On that topic, make a list, but do be flexible. If you can find stuff that's 50% off or some sort of clearance, be flexible. Change what you're going to eat because you know that you found something that might be way cheaper than what you were originally going to make. And try to shop the sales. If you can find items on sale, don't just buy that for that week. If it's something that keeps, buy extra, buy bulk, so that way when you want to make that meal again, you don't have to buy it at full price. You've already got it at whatever cheap price you bought it for previously. Also, don't be scared to buy no name or off brands. I think sometimes we assume that if it's not the name brand, it's going to be terrible. And you know what? Some things are. But you can at least try them. So there's certain things that I definitely buy name brand. If I'm buying ketchup, it's not going to be, like an off brand. It's going to be Heinz or something like that because I don't like it to taste like tomato sauce. But for chips, I buy no name chips for $1 a bag instead of $3 or $4. And you know what? They actually taste really good. So buy things that are off brands or, you know, the cheaper brands. Try them out. And if you figure out that actually it's just as good as the other brand, then you know that you can buy that. And if it's not, well, then so be it. Go back to buying your, you know, name brand items, but look for them on sale. Of course, we buy a lot more than just groceries and food. When it comes to other things, like let's say you need a new rug for your living room, or you want a new dresser, or you need new containers to store stuff. If you don't need those things immediately, try to have an ongoing list of things that you need when you find them for the right price. And on that list include, let's say, the size or color or place that it needs to go, so you know what your measurements are or what exactly you're looking for. And so then when you're at a garage sale or thrift store, or even at a regular store, but you find something for, you know, a fraction of the cost, you can buy it at that time because you already have all the details with you and you know exactly what you're looking for. Of course, not everything we buy is just things that we need. Sometimes we buy because it's fun or it makes us feel good. So I know for women, a lot of times clothing, jewelry, makeup, shoes, that kind of thing is definitely stuff that we like to impulse buy. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that in moderation. But if you can at least find those things thrifted or secondhand or clearance, then at least you're not paying full price for them. But I challenge you to take that a step farther. If you know that your winter jacket is wearing out and you're going to need a new one next season, rather than waiting until the next winter, buy it at the end of that winter. I think this applies even more for kids. You know that they're going to wear out or outgrow a certain size, and you know what size they're going to be next. So if you find those things on clearance or, you know, thrifted or whatever, buy the next size or buy 2 or 3 sizes ahead, depending on how much storage space you have. Just have a bin labeled the next size, and when you buy stuff, just throw it in that bin. Then when you get to the next size or season, you already have some of the stuff purchased, and you don't have to buy everything at full price right then and there. Shoo! A lot of us also spend a lot of money on having to have the latest or see the latest. So having to see a movie when it first comes out, or wanting to have the newest iPhone or that sort of thing. A lot of times if you can be patient and just wait, you can go and see that movie. Maybe you can see that movie for free on Netflix. Or maybe you can get that phone for half of the price when you buy it after the next phone comes out. So sometimes just being patient is a way to save money, but you still can have those same things, just not at the same time as everyone else. Another area that a lot of us spend a lot of money is entertainment. So whether it's going to the movies or going out for dinner, or maybe even just going to your local fair and spending a lot of money on rides and snacks and, you know, toys and things like that. If you can do more things for free and not make a habit of always every week going out and spending money on entertainment, you can definitely save a lot of money. So whether it's, you know, going hiking instead of going to a movie, or maybe you're going to do something that is just cheaper than you normally would and still spend money but not as much. Let's say it's bowling instead of, you know, going to a fancy dinner. Those are ways you can definitely save money. You can also just stay in, you know, have a frozen pizza and watch Netflix instead of going to the movies and ordering popcorn. Yeah, maybe it's not always as much fun, but if you have something else that you're saving for or working towards, it's a good trade-off. While we're on that subject, definitely having a goal or something you're working towards makes saving money so much easier. If you know that you want to go on a trip next year and that making these sacrifices will equal going on that trip, it's so much easier to not spend as much money than if you were just spending less money for the sake of trying to save a few dollars. And if none of these tips help, why don't you think about how hard you worked for that money? So say you want to buy that new pair of shoes, and maybe it costs, I don't know, $100 and something. How about breaking down how many hours you had to work? Maybe you had to work a whole day for those pair of shoes. Maybe if you put it in perspective, maybe you think, I don't know if I want to work a whole day just for a pair of shoes. Sometimes that's enough just to make you think, I'm not going to buy that. Or maybe you have to ask what you would rather. Would you rather watch this movie, or would you rather buy the new purse that you've been eyeing? And not both. Which one is, to you, of more value? Really, don't be a slave to things. Don't have to work your whole life just so that you can have nicer things, but miss out on all of the important things in life. The more you can make thrifting, buying clearance, looking for sales just part of your lifestyle, the less you will struggle with spending too much money and feeling like you are just a slave to all of the things that you own. Well guys, I really hope that you got something out of this video, that maybe there's a few things you can do to help you save money and to just live a little more frugally. If you guys did enjoy this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and join the community, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!